I'm really happy to be here today. I am the conservation project manager with the National Aquarium in Baltimore. And I am also the coordinator for the City Nature Challenge for the Baltimore metro area, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I do have a presentation, so I'm going to share my screen and go through that. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to interrupt me. I think we're going to have some time for questions at the end, but if you have a question in the moment, I totally don't mind. This is kind of a casual presentation, so if you want to jump in with any questions, feel free to. So let me share my screen. We'll jump in. And more people are joining, and it's so great. Okay. Hopefully, can you guys see my presentation? Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the City Nature Challenge, what it is. My contact information is on the page if you need it, and I can also give it out at the end. The City Nature Challenge is an annual community science competition for cities all around the world to participate and essentially photograph and observe plants, animals, fungus, other types of wildlife in their urban setting. This started back in 2016 as a friendly competition between San Francisco and Los Angeles to see how many people could get out and observe wildlife and basically make a big count of the amount of different species were in their cities. And since then, it has exploded. There are hundreds and hundreds of cities across the world that participate and go out and take pictures of wildlife. I'll just go into a bit of the background so you guys have some foundation, and then we'll talk about how it can be Carroll County specific. So back in 2016 was the first City Nature Challenge. And these are some of the stats. So 2 cities participated, San Francisco and LA. About 1,000 people participated in total between those 2 cities. And they made almost 20,000 wildlife observations. And all a wildlife observation is a photograph of something that they see and a location and a little bit of a description. And that's all it is. It's very basic. And of those 20,000 observations that were made, 2,500 different species were identified. So people went out, they took a bunch of pictures, a bunch of different things, and at the end they had 20,000 pictures, and from those 20,000 pictures, they identified species, which is pretty cool. Since that year, it's exploded. This is a map from 2021 of the number of cities around the world that participate in the City Nature Challenge. And this is even less than what participated last year. They just don't have an updated map for last year. Last year, 447 cities around the world participated. So it's a really popular event. A lot of people participate, and it's just a really fun way to get out in your local city, in your local urban area, or state parks, or local parks, county parks, and share that time with friends or family and see what you can find out in nature. These are some pictures of different cities around the world. Different cities take it more seriously than others. Some are really in it for the competition. The Baltimore metro area, which is the area that Carroll County is in, it's the area that I coordinate. We are like bitter rivals with the DC metro area. And they beat us every single year, and it's really annoying. So we're doing our best to try and compete with them. Unfortunately, Frederick County is part of the DC metro area. But you can see that these are just pictures from around the world of different cities that participate. And so some people are really intense about it, but it also doesn't need to be intense. You can just go out on your own. You can go out with family and friends and take pictures and participate. These are the results for last year, the total worldwide results. So you can see there's 440 cities participated worldwide, 1.6 million observations total. So a lot of different photographs of wildlife. 50,000 species were identified from that. And in total, about 67,000 people participated worldwide. This was a pretty big event. These are some of the stats for last year for the Baltimore metropolitan area. That includes Carroll County. And if you're not super familiar with the entire Baltimore metro area, I have a slide later on that will show exactly which counties are a part of that. But just so you can get an idea of last year, in the Baltimore metro area, we had 709 people participate in the entire event. We made almost 8,000 wildlife observations, and we identified 1,300 different species. So, and this, we've been participating, the Baltimore metro area has been participating since 2018, I believe. And we had a bit of a downtick in participation last year. I think it's because of the pandemic. People, when we did this last year, the restrictions for COVID were lessened a little bit, and I think people were just going outside and not really participating in these events. But during the pandemic, people were looking for any excuse to go outside and participate. So there are big numbers. This is just a little bit of a downtick from, I believe, 2020 and 2021. Here's the individual breakdown for each county. So these are the counties that are a part of the Baltimore metro area. It's Baltimore County, Baltimore City is its kind of its own identity in there. Anne Arundel County, Howard County, Harford County, Queen Anne's County, and Carroll County. And so I have this listed in or ranked by number of observations. You see Baltimore County has by far the most, and that's kind of because that's kind of where we're headquartered here. Carroll County had the least amount of participation last year, which is something that we want to remedy. We want to get people out there in Carroll County because there's so many amazing natural resources and so many great places to go out and participate. But Carroll County had 245 observations, about 46 observers. So that means those are people that were going out and actually participating and taking pictures of wildlife that were logged in Carroll County. Now, what's great about the City Nature Challenge is anyone can go into the Baltimore metro area, including Carroll County or any of these other counties, and participate. You don't need to live in those counties to participate. If you want to help out Baltimore, you can go into Carroll County, you can explore a park, walk around, see nature, and all of those will count towards the City Nature Challenge for that area, as long as you are taking photographs in that range. So why is the City Nature Challenge important? It's a really fun way to connect people to nature. And honestly, going out with my friends, with my coworkers, exploring a new park that I've never been in before for multiple days in a row, it's just really enjoyable and really fun. You see new things, you learn new things, and it's a really great way to help collect biodiversity data. This is a community science project, meaning anyone can participate, anyone can be scientists and help us collect data to learn about our natural environment, our urban environment. And what's really cool about the City Nature Challenge is all of this data actually gets verified and then put into a worldwide database of what's called research grade observations that are used in a lot of scientific research papers to understand population dynamics, rare species, the movement of invasive species. It's used in a number of different ways to help protect and learn about our natural environment. Yeah, it really just helps grow that kind of volunteer biodiversity documentation and makes community science more viable in the long run. Like I said, some of the data is used to learn about population dynamics. When we do it in the Baltimore metro area, we specifically can kind of get a very close glimpse of where certain species are in the Baltimore metro area. So we can learn about rare species that haven't been seen in 30 years, or we can learn about the population explosion of an invasive species. And this can help inform management decisions, help inform, more specific decisions on where you work and the areas that you are involved in. And it just adds to that ever-growing giant data pool. So the City Nature Challenge this year, it takes place over a 4-day period from April 28th to May 1st. That is called the observation period. So between April 28th and May 1st, anyone can go outside in the Baltimore metro area and photograph any form of wildlife that they see. It could be plants, it can be animals, it can be mushrooms, it can be fish, it can be literally anything that you see out there that is a wild animal or plant or fungus counts towards the City Nature Challenge. So during those 4 days, you can go out, take as many pictures of you as you want, and then upload them to a specific application on your phone called iNaturalist. I can talk about that a little bit in a minute. After May 1st, there's about a week between May 1st and May 7th where you're allowed to upload those pictures. So you can take those pictures on your phone and upload them. And then between May 1st and May 7th, you are allowed to upload them to iNaturalist. And then we enter what's called the identification period. So even though we had 8,000 observations last year, people need to look at those observations and try to identify what has actually been observed. And that can be really tough. A lot of times it's me and my team at the National Aquarium. Sometimes the Maryland Zoo helps out and different kind of experts around the counties. But that's a really big task. And so another cool way to participate is by not only making those observations, but also helping us identify. So if you know people within your networks or people that visit the sites that you work at that have passion or an interest in identifying like mushrooms or beetles or like moths, we always struggle with those. That's a great addition for us. It will make our job easier as we try to identify every single animal and plant and fungus that was photographed. And after May 7th, on May 8th is when the actual results of the City Nature Challenge are released. So they announce who wins the competition around the world, and they announce winners in a bunch of different categories. There's a number of observations, there's a number of species identified, and number of people that are participating. And you can get down really, really small. If you want, you can see your county data, you can see how Baltimore City relates to different sized communities, even get down to like different types of environments. It's really cool where you can break down with the data and the results that they give out afterwards. Baltimore, the Baltimore metro area has never ranked super high in the standings. We are one of the smaller teams, I think, but some of the crazy, DC always gets like 3rd or 4th place around the world. They have so many people participating, and we're just trying to build our numbers, encourage people to get out there and have fun outside. So what we offer, what the aquarium is offering, is an opportunity to partner with us to help do a couple things for the City Nature Challenge. And we extend this to any organization that wants to join us. And partnering with us is very, very simple. It's very easy. It requires as much as you want to put into it or as little as you want to put into it. Partnering with us is very, very, very simple. It means that the National Aquarium will put your organization on our website. We'll list it as a partner organization, and you agree to help promote the event. Let your networks know, let people that visit your sites know what's going on and encourage them to participate. Or you can help run an observation event. And an observation event is an event where people can come and congregate and then observe wildlife together. Examples of that might be a BioBlitz, if you've ever heard of a BioBlitz before, a nature walk, maybe a bird walk. Anything along those lines can be an observation event. If you do choose to host an observation event, the National Aquarium will list that on our website as well and try to get as many people as possible to go to your event to participate in the City Nature Challenge. You can also help us identify species. That's really important for us, like I mentioned before, and just really helping get that word out. It's very simple. If you don't want to do any of those things, but you still want to help promote the City Nature Challenge generally, You can still partner with us, and we will put your name on our website, and we'll give you all the information you can to kind of help push this out to the people that you work with and people that visit your sites. That's all it is. It's a very fun event, and it doesn't take really any work on your end unless you want to actually participate and encourage people to attend. If you are interested in hosting an observation event, there is a form that you can fill out. And the things that we need to know are just the date and the time, and they need to happen during the City Nature Challenge, so between April 28th and May 1st. We need to know where it's happening, so you can give us a location in Carroll County. We need to have a kind of a main contact for that event, someone who can answer all the questions and maybe organizing it. We need to know the intended audience. Some organizations choose to host a private event because they just want to invite certain people, and other organizations choose to host public events to let everyone attend. In order to do the City Nature Challenge, it's very helpful to have a device to record observations. A lot of times that's just a smartphone or a tablet. You don't even necessarily need that. You could just have a digital camera and take pictures on a digital camera. And then some other event ideas, like I mentioned, you can do a stream monitoring, you could do a student campus observation bird walk, tree planting, a guided hike, BioBlitz. Really, the sky's the limit. You could just have kind of a get together to celebrate the outdoor space where you work, and that can be fine as well. Anything that you want that gets people outside and taking pictures of things around Carroll County would all count as an event idea. Here are some important links on the screen if you actually do want to participate. This first link is a pledge link. This is just to encourage people to participate. You can go to our website, and as an individual, you can pledge to participate, and that will sign you up to receive relevant information as we get closer to the dates of the City Nature Challenge. The City Nature Challenge has an iNaturalist event page. Like I said, iNaturalist is an app for your phone. It's what we use to collect all of our data. All of the photos that you take will be uploaded to iNaturalist. We have a specific event page that you can look at. This one's important. If you do want to partner with us as an organization, you can sign our partner interest form. And I'll put that in the chat in just a minute here, because that's how you can sign up. And if you do choose to partner with us, I'll be in a little bit more close contact. I send a couple of emails out a month, just keeping people up to date on what's going on and letting everyone also get in touch with each other and network with each other. And this link is not filled out yet, but that will eventually list all of the observation events that are being hosted by different partner organizations for the City Nature Challenge. I think that's it. The next part of my presentation goes into a little bit of using iNaturalist, but I think I'm going to stop there for now and just see if anybody has any questions. If I went too quickly or if you're still confused about something, please let me know. I'm happy to talk about it. And in the meantime, I'll put some of these links into the chat. Does anybody have any questions?
Scott, I can start with a question, and maybe there'll be others. If we have a site that or two that would like to just have a very sort of low level of partnership at this point, if you know, what do you all provide? Say if they want to just put up, like, do you have graphics or something? If they just want to say, "Welcome to City Nature Challenge," you know, or, you know, just really low level. What do you offer as far as that goes?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a save the date flyer out right now for City Nature Challenge, and the aquarium's marketing team is working on putting together just a general flyer about the CNC. We'll probably get that about mid-February, and I will send that out to all of our partners. So if you don't want to do anything except just put a flyer up, you are welcome to do that. We have a lot of organizations that also partner with us because they have intention of working with us sometime in the future, and they just want to sign up and get the emails with the information about the City Nature Challenge. So if you didn't have any intention of participating this year, you could still sign up. Let me know that you're probably not going to do anything this year, but you might do something next year, and I can still send you all the information just so you can stay in touch. And there are lots of graphics. The City Nature Challenge has its own. Let me just stop sharing this. Ooh, and I will show you the City Nature Challenge website itself. If I can find it, here it is. So this is the City Nature Challenge International Competition website. And you can see it has an education toolkit up here as well. So if you want to come here, it has a lot of great information about, it has resources for different age groups to learn about the City Nature Challenge or learn about iNaturalist and how you can participate. Lots of different resources. And then the National Aquarium webpage is here. And you can see, you can sign up for our newsletter. It has information about the iNaturalist app. This is the link to pledge to participate. So you can sign up here, and that doesn't mean anything except that you're saying that you'll participate. There's no obligation at all. And some more information about iNaturalist. This is a training that I did last year that is very similar to this one, but it goes into iNaturalist as well. So feel free to go to our website and check this out as well. Any other questions at all?
Scott, I'll ask another question. Can you give an example of how just like a downtown area might find, we've got a few Main Street organizations. How does this happen just on a downtown street?
One of the reasons the City Nature Challenge even started was to get people out in their urban setting looking at the wildlife around them. A lot of people think that small cities, big cities don't have a lot of diversity of wildlife or a lot of biodiversity at all. And one of the points of this challenge was to get people to stop and take a look at what's actually around them in some of those more urban settings. So we have a lot of people in Baltimore that will congregate in like small parks within their city. We also do walks just around the National Aquarium, around the downtown area. We'll literally just get our volunteers and anybody around that wants to participate and just do a stroll through downtown and take pictures and look at birds and do things like that. Really popular thing to do that you can do in just downtown areas is host a BioBlitz. A BioBlitz is just a single event where you go to a confined space, a space where the borders are very clearly identified and you observe as much as possible. So a lot of times organizations will choose to they'll put up like a tent or a table and they'll say they're running a BioBlitz and people can look around within kind of certain dimensions of the area and take pictures of everything that they find there. That's a really popular thing for the City Nature Challenge. But as far as downtown areas, it can really be whatever it is. If you just want to do a walk through, like a bird walk through downtown, or just a walk through maybe a park in the area, that's all possible and really, really encouraged.
And of course, in Carroll County, we have vast amounts of open space, and it's all
those are even better. Those are even better. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see more in an open space, obviously, than you probably would downtown, and it's very encouraged to get out there. Trying to think, we see some crazy stuff when you go out there and actually take a look at what you're trying to at things that you wouldn't normally look at. You see a lot of really cool things. Last year, I saw a dolphin like way up in the Chesapeake Bay. It was dead and decaying on the beach, but it was a very cool thing to see. We've seen lots of really cool, rare species. We've seen lots of bald eagles. Let me just see if I can bring this up real fast and maybe show you guys some cool stuff that we've seen. But all in all, it's just a very cool opportunity to get out in your local area, encourage people to participate and see what you can see.
Well, while Scott's bringing up that screen, I would like to invite any of our partners to ask a question. I think it's nice for us to be aware that you might have these folks coming to your sites during these days. And
so Scott, I was going to ask, how is this going to be integrated into some sort of overarching social media campaign that to kind of communicate what this is and how to partake?
Yeah, I mean, there's a larger effort going on for the City Nature Challenge and the international kind of aspect of it. There's a lot of people tuned into that. You can follow City Nature Challenge, I think, on Twitter and Instagram. And this is incorporated, our project, the Baltimore project, is incorporated into what's called an umbrella project. And all of the observations, the results, the identified species all get incorporated into a larger umbrella project that then is communicated out through the City Nature Challenge international coordinators. I will give any information out over email and attempt to do it over social media, which is harder to do with my organization. But attempt to do it through our social media as well to get people to encourage to participate. But one of the reasons why we choose to partner, and we want to partner with a lot of different organizations, is because you guys have the networks and the ability to communicate out with your networks better than we do. We want you to participate so you can help spread the word. You can talk about it on your social media networks and hopefully get people that might go to your parks and different natural areas around Carroll County to participate. We might not have the same reach that you would in Carroll County that we do, say, in like Baltimore City. And that's one of the reasons my partner is like essential. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any sort of hashtags or
yeah,
I just went into Instagram and I see there's a City Nature DC. I didn't see an account for any sort of City Nature Baltimore.
Yeah, we don't have a Instagram account for City Nature Baltimore because it's all run through the National Aquarium account. But there is, I think it's hashtag CNC 2023 for this year. I think that's what they want us to do. And the National Aquarium itself doesn't have any hashtags for this event yet. But I'm working with our marketing team to get those things a little bit more incorporated. Because we're the National Aquarium, there's a lot of marketing rules that we need to follow, which is frustrating on my end when I'm trying to communicate out to different partners. But we're trying to encourage that. So I think it's hashtag CNC 2023 for the big City Nature Challenge event.
I would imagine that's the kind of thing that when folks sign on to partner, as you have more information about that, they'll get that information from you in emails and that kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely. I will send all that information out as soon as I get it to anyone that signs up to get those emails. Just to let everyone know, we have had I think we're up to 20 different partner organizations sign up so far, 21 this year. And I just started reaching out about a week ago. So it's a pretty popular event to partner with. I think last year we had 50 partner organizations sign on. And I'm just going to link, if I can get the link, I'm just going to link it in the chat if you do want to actually sign up.
Great. I think Christina has raised a hand.
Thanks. I was wondering, are we encouraging participants to search for nature in specific sites like city parks, like county parks, or can it be anywhere? Can I participate as a librarian and on behalf of the library as well as an individual and like take a picture of a hawk in my backyard?
Yes, it can be anywhere. Anywhere if in Carroll County, in the bounds of the Baltimore metro area will count. So we do have a lot of people that just go into their backyard and take a picture of animals in their backyard. And that will count. But there is a couple of things that do not count for the City Nature Challenge. And those are captive animals, or domesticated animals. So like you can't take a picture of your dog or your cat, or humans don't count as well. And then cultivated plants don't count. So if you have plants in a garden that you maintain, those don't actually count. We do have a lot of people that try to come to the National Aquarium and take a photo of everything in the aquarium and upload it, but that doesn't count. Zoos don't count, unfortunately. But you can go out in your backyard, see a bird, see a squirrel, anything else, take a picture of that, upload it, and it counts. And sometimes that's all people do, and that's totally okay. That's totally welcome. through the application that you upload the photos on iNaturalist, there's even a way to obscure where you took that photo to keep it private. So if you do want to go in your backyard, take a picture, but you don't want people to know where you live, you can obscure that. So we have a lot of people do that as well.
So my landscaped park in front of my library wouldn't count for plant life, but we could have people take pictures of squirrels and our giant rabbit and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's a line there where something goes from cultivated to more naturalized, and we let people kind of make that decision. Like if you know, it was landscaped, you know, however many years ago, and now kind of normal wild things are growing there, that's okay.
Okay.
But we let people draw the line. But if it's very clearly like a flower garden that you planted, we don't know.
Okay, got it. Like someone's cutting garden, no.
Right.
Got it.
So I know that there are some interesting rare species in Carroll County. I believe there's something called a bog turtle. I want to challenge you guys to find that bog turtle and upload it.
The bog turtle is the smallest turtle, I think, in North America. It's incredibly rare. I would love it if we saw some bog turtles out there. Does anyone have any questions? I can just share my screen real fast and show you some cool species, some of the rare species that we saw last year.
I guess just one, I mean, it's kind of a question, kind of a comment. Since cultivated plants, you know, aren't really part of this, I'm assuming though that non-native and invasive species are part of it. Just, you know, it'd have to be kind of organically occurring.
Yeah, that's important. We do want to document non-native and invasive species. And a lot of times people don't know that. So they might just take a photograph, they don't know what it is, they upload it, and we identify it. And iNaturalist can flag it as a non-native invasive. And that's important for us to know too, because then we can learn a little bit more about how those populations are changing and how our general environment around us is changing. So there's a lot of those species around that are invasive, but maybe have become more naturalized. Look, if you guys can see my screen right now, this is iNaturalist, and these are some of the species that we saw that are rare, threatened, endangered, or near threatened in Maryland. So you can see we get a lot of observations of some of these species like double-crested cormorants. We get a lot of some bald eagles we've seen. If you get down to like the single observations down here, you can also see on this one, the horse chestnut, you can see the little IN right here. That means that this is invasive. So it's not normal here. And then the green N is native. So most of these are natives, but this one is invasive. So you can see some of these really cool, random, very rare species in Maryland that were observed just last year. This eastern whippoorwill, I don't know, Liz, if you know anything about this, but this is a really, really rare, hard to find bird that we saw 3 of last year. So yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I know this bird because when I was in 4th grade and I was at overnight Girl Scout camp, I remember hearing the whippoorwill sign as we would drift off to sleep. That's all I know.
And it's also exciting to share this out with your organizations as well and with your networks. Share what cool observations we made, things that you don't normally see, or share some of the, you know, the invasives and teach them about what's kind of coming in. Umbrella magnolia, let's see here. Golden northern bumblebee, which believe it or not is endangered. We saw a couple of those. Eastern hemlocks. And this is all, you know, dependent on where you're going, where you're observing. But the more people we get out there participating, the more observations we're going to get and the more really cool species we're going to find. So any other questions at all? I put the link to sign up to partner with us in the chat. So you're welcome to fill that out if you'd like to. Again, no obligation. I will just send you some information and we'll list you on our website as a partner.
Scott, I have a quick question. This is Abby from Westminster City Recreation and Parks. Sorry, my technology was not working at the beginning of the presentation.
No worries.
We've done programs with iNaturalist before. In one of our parks, we did a pollinator program where we had the public show up and we showed them how to download the app on their phone. And we encourage them to make pollinator observations, but of course, then we allowed them to make any observations as the event unfolded. My question to you is, I've never uploaded pictures to the app. I've only just used the live camera feature in the app. So if we're doing it that way, how do you automatically get credit for those observations for City Nature Hunt?
Yes. So believe it or not, it happens automatically in the way that we set up the project on iNaturalist. Any photo that is taken between April 28th and May 1st, if it's taken with like a phone with GPS, that GPS will mark it down, the date and the time. And so that will automatically be uploaded and count towards the City Nature Challenge. If you're like taking it on just a normal like camera that doesn't have those capabilities, when you're uploading your observation, you can mark the date and time, and then it will count. So there are ways to get around that. A lot of people do just take out their phone and automatically take pictures. But if you're going to be like a major observer and go out and take like thousands of pictures, and some people take thousands of pictures for this, it's easier just to get a camera and just take a bunch of different snapshots and upload them later. I am going to be doing 2 CNC webinars this year in April. And I will go into the iNaturalist platform in detail there and give a demonstration on how to use it to upload photos, to take photos. And I'll show it on the application on your phone, and I'll also show it how to do it on the computer as well. So if you are interested in learning more about iNaturalist, you can join me for one of those. I'll send out information into some partner emails if you're interested. There's also a ton of other resources online for iNaturalist that can go into that, but the timestamp helps. So that will automatically get uploaded to the project. And then you can automatically enter the time when you took up the picture as well later on, or manually do that. So it's very possible.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to be on some special page, and that if we kind of instruct our public to download the app like we did for other public programs, that it will count towards this. So
yeah, I mean, you don't even need to download the app really. You can access it on your computer. And what I did last year is I took out my phone and I took a bunch of pictures, and I went to my computer later, downloaded those pictures onto my computer and uploaded them there. So I didn't even really use the app on my phone last year. Any other questions at all? If you do think of any questions, if you want to reach out, I'll put my email in the chat. I'm happy to talk and answer any other questions, or if you want me to give a presentation to any other organization, just let me know. Like I said, we're just really trying to get the word out and encourage more people to participate, especially in Carroll County. Get those numbers up.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you very much, Scott, for making this presentation today. We, as I said, the Heritage Area values its historic and its natural resources and really sees them as inextricably linked. And I think possibly we see that more so in Carroll County than anywhere else. The natural landscape is so important to us there. So so I do hope that you all will participate and encourage your visitors to participate. And now you know how to reach Scott. I always know how to reach Scott if you want to go through me. And Emily, do you want to say anything more about when we might expect the recording to be available and that kind of thing?
Sure. This recording will probably be up by early next week. And so you'll be able to view that on the Heart of the Civil War Heritage Area YouTube channel. And we'll probably be sharing it on our social media, and maybe we'll tag the Baltimore Aquarium when we do that too.
All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody. It was a great, great few minutes to spend together.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate the time.
All right. Bye-bye.